He's been a teacher for 25 years.
Okay.
She teaches second grade. He's a high school teacher. She this year has a child in her class whose mom was taught by her husband, which is just wild to me. You know what I mean? It kind of blew my mind.
That is
You know what
kind
I'm
of
saying?
crazy.
Hey, everybody, welcome to the pre-show. This is the part of the show where we talk about what we're going to do on the show. This is an easy one because it's the previews show. We're going to talk about all the books
Preview
coming out this week.
show!
Very good books. First question I want to ask Dave here in the pre-show because we can always fuck around and waste some time. My favorite part of doing this Geek and Comics. Did you watch Prey?
I did.
Oh, what'd you think, dude?
I think it's a very strong entry into the
Hey, Andy.
Predator franchise.
Dude, I think it's a
I
strong
think
number two.
It's
a strong number two. I got some scotch going tonight. It was a rough Monday. I'm at least a half a sheet to the wind. There's Taylor coming in hot.
It is definitely better than Predator 2, and it is definitely better than Predators.
You guys talking Prey?
Yeah.
Well, Predator and Alien are always like kind of mashed together in a lot of ways. One big similarity they have is they both have a much larger ratio of bad movies than good movies.
Yeah, they do. The problem with that whole franchise is the two movies that are like, there's two movies in there that stand above the rest. The first Predator movie and Aliens, right? It's like, there's no way you can talk shit on those movies.
Well,
and now
you can't talk shit on
Prey
Alien.
to add to that. No, Alien is great. The
Alien franchise has it a little better in the sense that Alien and Aliens are both really good, and they're both different enough that I feel like you could like them both.
And I love Predator 2 so much. I really do.
I
But
do
Prey
love
is
Predator
a solid.
2.
Prey is a strong number 2, man. And the only reason for that is all of the callbacks to the first Predator movie. You need that first Predator movie. If the movie you're watching, if that movie itself says, no, this first movie is better because look how much we're referencing it, then you have to agree with that movie.
There's some references to the second movie in there.
Oh, there are. Yeah, there's a gun in there.
That pistol, which begs the question, how did that one Predator at the end of Predator 2 get that gun?
Dude,
if Naru has it.
We're going to see that. That's leading into this.
I really don't think you need to overanalyze the lore and continuity of the Predator movies.
But this movie does ask you to do that in a lot of ways.
I was watching a review of it earlier that was saying that, like, really this should be what the Predator franchise is moving forward. It's just like Predator versus... It's Predator versus blank. You know, throw the Predator into weird situations and have him square off against samurai or Vikings or what the fuck ever.
You could even just go to another alien world and meet an entire new race that the Predators just hunt.
Sure, yeah, they can hunt like space Vikings or something like that. I don't know.
Dude, yes.
The Predator versus the Engineers.
Oh no, I don't know about that. Don't break Prometheus. Prometheus is good the way it is. Don't break Prometheus. Okay, next, David, and Taylor for that matter. Have either of you watched any of Sandman yet?
I have watched the first episode now.
I have not.
First impressions.
It was a good recreation of the first issue. Looks like they're setting up like this whole like big confrontation with the Corinthian. They're making him much more of a character than he was in the comics. Which
You'll be surprised.
I'm hoping we get to the end and it's like, you find me at last, Morpheus, and Morpheus just snaps his fingers and turns him to dust like he did in the comics.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah. They definitely lean into that, but we'll see what happens. So there's your catch up for the movies. I did want to show off since David was here. I did get Breaker in the Ram cycle. It's beautiful. Of course, cool. I don't have the gun on the side. Why not? Because my awesome ass owns a Roadblock, and that gun was made for Roadblock. This gun is actually supposed to go on the side of the...
Who wants a body massage?
Cycle. Who wants a body massage? Yeah, that's beautiful, man. So, yeah, I wanted to show that off because Dave was here, and I know Taylor doesn't give a shit. I wish Adam was here because Adam would be like, oh, wow. But anyway, he's not.
Oh, David, you didn't answer, though. Did you get to see Sandman yet?
He did not. He answered.
No, I didn't. I haven't
seen it yet.
Yeah,
but I may be able to watch it later tonight.
Yeah, I will say that
give it a go, man. It's.
I enjoyed that first episode, although they did definitely pull their punch at the end because what Dream did to Alex Burgess at the end of the comic is way worse than what he did at the end of this episode.
Yeah, for sure. And I don't think they leaned away from that.
I'm not necessarily saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying that, like, you know,
I think
you can definitely tell the differences. You can definitely tell where, like, they're adapting this for a wider audience, because that would have been, like, a really fucked up thing to have actually watched, is the eternal waking thing that he does to him.
Yeah, and I think it fits better with the poetry of the show, almost, you know? Because they're not really showing Morpheus as, like, I mean, they are, as he's a gray character, you know what I mean?
Yeah, Morpheus is interesting because, like,
gray.
He is a very sinister character. He's not evil, but he is very sinister.
And they humanize him. That's part of the show, is to show that he's humanized a little bit. And I get it. In the comics, you don't have to do that. Why? Because comic book readers are used to reading about gods that come from the fucking sky. We're okay with understanding that this character doesn't have to be humanized to still tell a human story. But I think on the screen, like you said, adapting for a wider audience, they have to humanize the quote-unquote lead character, even though, I don't know, that's arguable too, really. But in order to push forward the points that they're trying to push forward. But I really think you're going to like it, dude. But Mike Gilmore, thanks. Predator versus blank, fill in Hirogen. Oh, dude, I'd be okay with that. What? That'd be
Hunter
awesome.
versus Hunter.
Yeah, Hunter versus Hunter. Andy chiming in too. Netflix is making more mainstream so they can have a second season. Oh, of course. For sure. They want this character to live out. They want this character to have merch that they get some money on. No doubt. No doubt. They really want to push that shit. But hey, we're here to talk about comics. Let's start the show. But I'm really glad that we were able to catch up on this. Somebody mentioned the Hirogen. I can't help but go to the Trek.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big fan of that new Trek. Sorry, guys.
Sheer fucking hubris.
But thanks for stopping by, Mike. Really appreciate that. Mike Gilmore checking in. Andy here as always.
I was trying to think of other, like, Star Trek races the Predators could fight.
Oh, that would be cool to fight. Well,
I mean, there's one, like, I was thinking, like, maybe, like, versus the Borg, but they were saying no chance against the Borg, you know?
What about, it might take a minute. Let's get this done.
Whatever it is.
Yeah, species A472. Dude, you're getting deep cuts now. Greetings, geeks. Welcome back. It's another episode of This Geek and Comics Outright Geekery's comic book shit talk show.
Shit talk show.
Gomer, a.k.a. David and Taylor. Man, we've been talking about all the great screen content we've been getting this week. Prey and Sandman mostly. Dude, Andy, Klingons.
Yeah, that would be a good one.
Whoa.
Predators versus Klingons. Did the Predators have a name for their race? I know they do, but I can't remember what it is.
It's like
called,
the
like,
Yawati. It's got a
Young
Y
Tai
and
or
a,
something
and
like
a
that.
J in there.
I think I saw that, like, it's only appeared in print. They've never spoken it out loud in any of the movies.
Yeah, it's in the comic books. At least the Dark Horse comic books and the novelizations. It's like YUAN.
I'm just going to keep calling it Predators.
I'm just going to keep calling them the Predators. How about this, Taylor? There's like a Predator society with different tribes, too. I mean, it's deep. It's deep, bro.
We've had
if
two
you do,
representations on film, at least, about that, because this Predator and Prey is different from the Predator from the Schwarzenegger movie.
Yeah,
and that could be a way to really give this franchise some legs. Like, the review I was walking, like, and that does sound cool, right? Like, just every couple of years have, like, different Predator even versus different whatever.
Predator versus Samurai. Predator versus Vikings. Predator versus... you can do, like, an African, continent one. I don't even know what you would fucking do. I don't know enough about that shit. But you could do all kinds of cool stuff and highlight different types of filmmaking. Highlight, all kinds of different cultures. Dude, what a great idea. Man, it's low-hanging fruit, really, when you think about it. And then eventually Predator versus Predator, because there's different
They had
tribes.
That already.
Yeah, they have. Anyway, we're here to talk about comics, but we will talk about Predator later, actually, talking about comics. It finally happened. It's happening. But we're here to talk about the comics. The saying, the mantra for this show is, if you see something, say something, chat. If we're talking about a book and you want us to talk about it, let us know. If we skip over something, make a comment. Let us know what you're reading. We just love talking about comics, so that's what we're here to do. Batgirl's number 9. Not a comic I'm actually reading. I hate doing that. I have this big spiel about how dope comics are. Then, fuck that book.
Well, we can't. No one can read all of them.
Yeah, we can't read them all.
But I have been reading Batgirls. It's a good kind of mid-tier fun book. It's nothing terribly like, like, oh shit, what are they going to do next? But it's more like, that was fun.
Yeah.
Type of thing.
Great Sweeney Boo cover here. Very few and far between to find some good Sweeney Boo art. That is great.
Yeah.
That is cool. But yeah, good book. Batman Urban Legends. This is your Batman anthology book. It's like 4 or 5 different stories by a slew of different writers and artists. Very fun. So yeah, there you go. Always a cool variant cover. A little bit pricey. It's $8. But if you need a Batman fix, if you need like more of a Batman fix than what Zdarsky is giving you right now in Ram V, then this is definitely the book to go. It's Batman family centric too. There's Rogues Gallery books. They had an Ace the Bat Hound story by Mark Russell that was just top notch, very good. Blood Syndicate. Man, I haven't been reading this. I kind of feel bad that I haven't been reading this.
There's enough of these milestone books out now that it's kind of hard to keep track of all of them.
Yeah. It's hard for me to get into all of them. There's at least 3 that I loved. I'm reading that Duo now, which is fantastic. But yeah, it's too much, dude. That's what happens with success in the comics. They milk it for all it's worth. Great cover here by Juliet Nanika. Love it. Love it. Man, a whole lot of stuff that is not DC in this. We are going to talk about that later if it's worth talking about. Pretty big book here. Tom Taylor, arguably one of the best writers in comics. Probably the top guy at DC right now, even though Williamson's running the event. But Deceased, this is it. This is the end of Deceased. An 8-issue maxi. They don't even use that word anymore. Maxi series. But who isn't excited about this? If you've been keeping up with Deceased, the zombies in the DC universe, I've been on it since issue 1. As soon as fucking what's his name fell down with the virus.
Yeah, this is one of those. This is one of the books that Tom Taylor writes that has no right to be as good as it is.
It's so stupid. It's such a dumb idea, dude. It's such a dumb idea, but it works.
But hey, I mean, he made that video game tie-in for Injustice work. He's making this incredibly stupid idea work.
Yeah, it don't matter what you hand him. He just he kills it every time. And also the best Batman because it's Damian. A lot of cool covers for that. It looks like we're going to get a Lobo appearance. I don't think we've gotten Lobo in Deceased yet. That'll be cool. I don't know if Lobo would actually fall to a zombie virus. He'd probably be like, no, fuck you, zombie virus.
I mean, if it works on Superman, it should work on damn near anyone.
I don't know, man. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. We rarely mention these sorts of things unless they're worth mentioning. And this one's kind of worth mentioning. Yes, it's $120. But, man, this is the original, right? I mean, I don't want to cross my streams here, but even if you're into like Thanos and that sort of shit, this is where all that fucking came from.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? This shit is amazing, man. This is timeless fucking comics.
This is
good.
This is what, after Kirby left Marvel, this was his secret project, and this is what Marvel screwed him on too.
Yeah.
Because his inker was the one leaking stuff to Marvel.
Yeah, there's some crazy shit there, but the Fourth World by Kirby is must-have stuff. It just looks good on a shelf, too.
Yeah, this is one of those prestige titles, This is like one of those ones that's like such a formative thing for the industry as a whole.
Yeah, if I walk into a stranger's house and they have this on my shelf, I'm like, oh, I want to know this guy. Yeah, I'm going to be best friends with this guy. Future State Gotham, the book that just can't stop going. I don't even want to talk about it.
I was surprised it even started, let alone going on to 16 issues now.
16 issues.
I assumed this was a mini when they first announced it.
Yeah, dude, I can't believe it. Will anything ever come of it?
Probably not.
It doesn't feel like Dark Crisis is going to lean into that at all. It feels like Dark Crisis is just erasing all of that.
Yeah, I wonder if this future state is just like they're basically turning this into another Elseworld,
I sure feel that they're doing
I'm okay with that. Like the white.
Yeah, and it's a fine way to do it if that's the way you want to do it. But I didn't care for future state when it was happening, so
me neither.
It's just not a corner of the universe that I'm interested in if that's what they're doing.
Harley Quinn number 19, basically a Deadpool book. There's always going to be a Harley Quinn book.
Yeah, this is their this is their goofy Waka Waka stuff. But I will say I do love these like classic Batman covers with Harley on them. I think those are fun.
Oh yeah. This one right here. Yeah, this is pretty rad. Ryan Sook doing these. just having a great time. You can tell he's just having a fun time doing these covers. So, I Am Batman, now the second best Batman book in my opinion. John Ridley, just a favorite of mine. Up to issue 12, good for him. The Batman in New York.
Yeah, this is one of those things
that got a great attitude, man.
It's one of the few things that came out of Future State that's actually stuck pretty well. Luke Fox's Batman.
Yeah, and they've made him his own sort of character by moving him to New York, by having this.
Yeah, that's a good way to handle it, especially since they seem to have abandoned the Future State. I mean, we were just like, hey, that Future State Gotham thing, but for the most part, it seems like they've abandoned Future State. So that is a good way for this character to keep on doing his own thing, you know, to not have to throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Andy, but is it Jack Kirby getting back to that fourth world? No comment. I'm not getting into any conspiracy theories about that. A book that, again, way over the halfway point now.
This book rules.
It is
so fun. It's like rock and roll. It's just big, dumb, stupid fun.
I mean, we got the fucking Green Lantern dinosaur giving the Atrocitus dinosaur a fucking suplex here. What the?
Yeah.
Take my money, you know?
Yeah, I know, man.
A Paracephalophus?
Danny, oh, jeez.
Oh, shut the fuck up, David. Don't even get started.
Dinosaur nerds are the worst nerds, followed by Lord of the Rings nerds. Danny Warren Johnson, just killing it on this book. You know the only bad thing I can say about this book? I wish Danny Warren Johnson was doing the art. Not on Juan Guedion. No,
Juan Guedion was doing good stuff. That last issue did have someone else covering the art, though, and that was a noticeable drop. I mean, it was still pretty solid, but yeah, I mean, if it's not going to be Juan Guedion drawing, it should at least be Daniel Warren Johnson, you know?
Dude, he is doing a power bomb over an image. It's great.
I mean, he's working hard. I get it.
Yeah, I do love this Brett Booth cover. Big fan of Brett Booth. He's got a throwback style that reminds me of 90s, image sort of stuff.
Yeah, it does have a very Stephen Prophet art.
Prophet
art.
For sure, dude.
I can't think of the name.
We were talking earlier about books that have no right to be as good as they are, and this is another good example of that.
Yeah, it's just big, done, stupid fun. Celebrating Kirby, no comment, Andy. He definitely wrote this shit. He definitely wrote Commandy. Or Commandy. I've heard it pronounced both ways.
This is another good example of one of those Kirby books that, I don't think is, an all-time great, but because it is Kirby, because of, the strength of his art and his storytelling and everything like that, everyone knows who this is, at least, Yeah.
I don't know, and I mean, we're just off on a tangent now. How is Commandy not a fucking movie or a show? It's perfect. It
would make for a really good show, I think, yeah. Just a post-apocalyptic story, yeah.
It seems so easy to me.
Yeah.
So easy.
I mean, they have a streaming platform and everything,
Yeah, everybody got a fucking streaming. Why is there not more shit? I mean, I know we just hit a record last year of scripted TV content. But
although it's apparent that Warner Brothers just has no fucking idea what they're doing.
Yeah. This is a book, Naomi Season 2, number 6. The only thing worth noting here is the tragedy that is Brian Michael Bendis. One of the great writers of the first part of this century, really, just the downfall.
You often talk about his decade of decadence.
Yeah, the decade of decadence. One of my favorite decades of comics of all time. I still just love it so much. I go back to that New Avengers run and his run on all those events. Even though he didn't write most of those events, you can see his DNA on all of that shit. But this man currently has nothing planned at DC Comics, a publisher that he is exclusive with. All of his creator-owned shit is over at Dark Horse right now. Pearl and Dave. Fire, I think, is getting reprinted. There's a bunch of shit that he
a lot of his stuff is over at Dark Horse, yeah.
Yeah,
Pearl.
That's getting reprinted.
Well,
but he's got nothing planned right now. That Legion book, I think, is still going on, but it's about done, too.
Of all the stuff he's been doing for DC, this one's probably been the best received. It did at least get its own TV show.
She was on the Avenger or on the Justice League for a minute.
Yeah. I gave an honest try to his Justice League book. I stuck with that for a long time, mostly because of that Rampage backup. Yeah, it is because of that. But
Justice League Dark.
But I went into it, wanting to read the main book.
Yeah.
I gave that Superman book of his an honest try, and just they both lost me pretty fast.
Yeah. Also because Warner shot itself in the foot. I think you're still talking about Naomi, Andy, from the comments, but Naomi Season 1, the first episode I thought was okay. I never went back to it. I think we just have a glut of scripted TV, and I just don't have time to go back to Naomi. And if something doesn't hit in season 1, it's done. They give nothing any time to percolate and let
it is
time.
It's a crowded market these days. You know, you gotta make your impression very, very fast. Otherwise, you're just not going to get another chance.
But I mean, again, back to the tragedy of Brian Michael Bendis. Where's this dude going? I mean, he had a book at Dark Horse that was a new book. Dave and I read it. It was just okay. Remember that book, Dave, where it was a girl,
Joy
like,
Division?
in the future? Joy Division. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's why you're here, man. That's why you're here. It was just okay.
Well, that and your winning personality, Dave.
Exactly. And the voices. The voices are my favorite. I wish something British.
I indulge the voices, but that's not why I want you here.
I wish something British would fucking come up so we could get that going.
Oh, God.
But anyway, let's move on from Bendis. I do feel bad. Look, and no variant cover for this, Naomi. No variant.
Yeah, that's pretty weird, especially for like the big finale issue like this.
Exactly, dude. Exactly. We'll probably never see another Naomi miniseries ever again. She might show up in books, A Young Justice, or they might even move her over to Milestone. You know, I could see them doing something like that. That she fits in there like a fucking glove. You know, her entire story.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know. I think they should actually move Milestone into the DC proper. But you know, fuck me. What do I know?
You never know. They'll have a crisis.
Yeah, there's one happening right now. Nubia, Queen of the Amazons, guest starring Wonder Girl. Love that they showcase Yara Flor right there on the cover. It's going to be very interesting to see somebody else drawing Yara Flor in a Wonder Woman book, basically, that is not Joelle Jones. She showed up for just a brief moment in the Dark Crisis event so far, but not enough to really know. And I don't know. I want Yara Flor to stick around. I think she's got staying power, and this is definitely evidence of that. But as soon as Dark Crisis is over, as soon as the whole Wonder Woman current event, which is, you know, whoever was it, Artemis murdered what's her name, and now Nubia is now the queen, and there's a whole lot of drama there. That's all going to be over soon. That's all going to end quickly. So I don't know. Are you off of this, Taylor? I know you were on the Wonder Woman event, at least in part.
I was on the event, but I haven't really stuck with most of the Wonder Woman stuff afterwards. You know?
Yeah, me neither. But I might pick this up just because of Yara Flor on there. Great beach volleyball cover from Derek Chu. I'm not sure why, but I mean,
it's summertime.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. I could argue this both ways. You know, this is female empowerment or this is cheesecake. However you want to argue it, hey, feel free to take to Facebook. If I get a copy, that's the cover I'm fucking looking for. I don't care. I think that's pretty much it. We do have the big book, Son of Kal-El, Tom Taylor. I had a great discussion about this today. Superman is coming back. Kal-El is coming back from Warworld. It'll be interesting to see how that affects this book. But the discussion I had on Facebook sort of bled into John's boyfriend here and how Tom Taylor has done such a great job to distinguish between the job that Lois Lane does and the job that Jay does, in terms of them both being, you know, in the news business, being journalists, quote unquote journalists. And I really hope he leans into that a little bit more. And I mean, it looks like Jay is here to stay. I don't like Jay, except for any reason that I don't trust him at all. I don't trust that dude at all. But we'll see how it goes. I think he's going to break John's heart. How about that? That's probably the best.
I mean, comics being comics, eventually they will split up this couple and pair them with someone else, you know? But
and the thing about Jay is he's got superpowers, so he could be around for a while.
That's true. It does at least make it less likely that someone will be able to come along and fridge him, since he is, like, intangible. So
excellent. Yeah. Oh, my God. That's almost like a joke, Taylor.
I almost wonder if that's why he gave him intangibility powers. But
dude, you need to get to Twitter and ask him. I swear. Andy mentioned that Rush was on this list. Let's go back. Rush, Cy Spurrier. Is this even a DC book? I don't know if I've ever even heard of this. It's not, Dave?
No, it's a trade, too.
Yeah. Cool. It looks good. I love Cy Spurrier, you know. So I'll check that out. We probably should mention the Sandman bundle. It's a 25-book bundle of Sandman #1. That basically this is to for shops to give away like promotional. So that's pretty cool. This will be a good pickup because it is the one that's branded as the promotional.
Something that's striking to me is that like this is driving home how Black Label is the new Vertigo.
Oh, for sure. Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Love this other cover here. Love that cover, dude. So fun. Getting his kite out of the tree while mom. Ah, man, that's so
that's wholesome as fuck.
Wholesome. That's the word. Wholesome as fuck. Andy coming in a new JLA. I don't know.
They're pitching the new JLA and Dark Crisis on Infinite Earth. Oh yeah. Well, yeah, both, right? Like in issue 2, they debuted quote unquote the new Justice League, and in this most recent one, they brought in the Justice Society, which I was glad to see. So I don't know if that lineup is going to survive past the event here. I have no idea.
I would love to see a new JSA title streaming out of Dark Crisis, especially
that would be really cool.
With a strong focus on Alan Scott and his whole story.
That might be a cool way to like use a lot of these quote unquote new generation heroes, is have them like integrate in with the JSA, because that's already been their thing, you know?
Dude. Where things stand right now, as far as issue 3 of Dark Crisis, there's no more Teen Titans Tower or whatever, and the JSA showed up. Combine those two teams and just do it, and then give the book to Bendis. I think Bendis could actually carry a title like that.
That seems like a pretty good idea,
dude. I'm smart.
I think that plays to your strengths as a writer. Yeah,
I'm smart. Just a brief mention of Wonder Woman 790, just because of these great covers. Great homage cover here to the Grant Morrison. Wasn't that a Grant Morrison book from something? What book was that?
That seems like something Grant Morrison would do. I can't place it though.
Yeah. And this one from Paul Pope. Just really clean lines on this.
That last cover was a throwback to a Batman versus Wonder Woman issue where Wonder Woman was under the spell to protect somebody and Batman was after them.
Yeah. I don't remember the issue, but
I think it's like maybe something like Trinity or something.
W. Scott Forbes. Just love this. Just such a beautiful cover there. Really good. Summer. It's a summer cover. You know, and I think that's what they're doing with that beach volleyball cover in this one. So some pretty good books there. Really, Son of Kal-El is the only one I'm really reaching for. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's always on the list, you know, whenever it shows up.
There's some other okay things in here, but man.
Oh, definitely looking forward to Jurassic League. Yeah, Jurassic League is
probably the DC book I'm picking up this week.
Nice. All right, let's move on to everything else. Peeps. Books come out August 10th. All those DC books come out tonight at midnight. You can pick them up. So, A Town Called Taylor. A Town Called Taylor.
What now? Okay.
A Town Called Taylor hits issue number 5. Great art by Simon Krujansky. Just really fun horror.
Been a really fun series if you like, horror.
Yeah.
Basically it's a town where essentially like an immortal bad guy is, he's realizing he may not be immortal and he's trying to set things with his son, and his son's like, I don't want part of the family business.
Yeah, being just a terrible douchebag.
Yeah, just being. But it's I think vampires. You got vampires, werewolves, Frankenstein monsters, and stuff. It's pretty fun. It's a fun book.
Yeah. Deadliest Bouquet #1. Erica Schultz, Carola Berea. It wouldn't be a new Image Week if there wasn't, a debut. So, hard-edged Nazi hunter who trained her child well in the art of espionage, but in 1998, when her complicated past finally catches up with her, it's up to her 3 estranged daughters, Rose, Poppy, and Violet, to solve their mom's murder. So it sounds kind of like Powerpuff Girls, which isn't a dig at all. I love the fucking Powerpuff Girls, but with like Nazi all grown up, I don't know.
Nazi.
I'm gonna check it out. I check out every new.
That's an interesting premise for sure. Yeah,
that's a very clever title when the daughters are all named after flowers.
Yes. Look at Dave using his brain. Andy in the chat mentioned 8 billion genies. Probably the biggest Image release of the year. They are doing reprints of issue number 2 and 3, and issue number 4 drops. Yes, we're hitting the halfway mark on this book. Basically, the premise of this book, it's a post-apocalyptic book, but we see it from the moment the apocalypse starts. And this apocalypse, the twist is when the 8 billionth human being is born on the planet Earth, and there's 8 billion people, every human being on the planet gets a genie and one wish, and chaos just ensues, man. I mean, people just wish for the dumbest shit. It's so weird, but
it was some, except for that one guy in the first issue.
at the bar, the wise
Yeah,
old
at the bar.
bartender, he says no wish made outside this bar can affect this bar. And yeah, everything's just cool in the bar. They're just hanging out. But 8 Billion Genies has been picked up for adaptation, so we'll see how that goes. King Spawn, it wouldn't be a week at Image Comics
It
without a
wouldn't be
book
Image
from
Comics
McFarlane.
without Spawn.
Spawn, and I'm guessing there's a Walking Dead book at the bottom.
We'll
here.
see what happens. We'll see what happens. Love Everlasting. Do want to put a focus on this? Why? Because I am a sucker for a slice of life comic, and it's Tom fucking King.
And it's Elsa Cartier.
Yeah, I thought it was Chartier, but hey, whatever.
I know it's French, so
terrible.
Yeah,
I'm terrible with
French.
names.
I'm pretty sure.
Blah, 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 blah.
I'm sure we're all saying it wrong, and I'm sure any French listeners would be irate at us. But yeah, the point is, she is a good artist, regardless of how her last name is pronounced.
It's all Greek to me.
Yeah. So this is a romance comic, just like any good slice of life comic is. I don't give a shit. I'm stoked. It's happening in a fantastical sort of world, I don't know. I'm stoked, dude. It's Tom King doing a creator-owned book. It's been a while. So, yeah, let's do it. I'm on board for at least the first arc on this, easily. He's getting a bunch of variants because, of course. Oh, look at this. Classic romance variant.
Oh, yeah, it's like an old pulp magazine.
Yeah, classic. Oh, that's the one I'm getting. That's hot. Yes. Nice. Lotoy's got a cover. Yeah, very great romantic covers. Yeah, I'm stoked for that. I'm hoping this causes like a resurgence, a renaissance of those romance books. Prodigy, Icarus. You reading this at all, Dave? Prodigy? No. Yeah, me neither.
No, I'm not reading
Slumber
it.
Number 6. I know you're into that. Sort of like Freddy Krueger meets the club scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. It's been pretty
bad.
good. I would kind of, if you ever seen that one episode of Rick and Morty where they go into the dreams, it's more along the lines of that.
It's kind of like that. Sure. Well, I said Freddy Krueger meets the club scene. It's kind of like that. Starhead's Dragon and Boar.
I was not impressed with that first issue.
The art was fantastic, but the narrative Liam Sharp is an artist.
It leaves a lot to be desired.
Yeah.
I'm off this book already.
Oh wow! See, I'm gonna keep it through the second issue, but just because it's Liam Sharp and I love his art. But yeah, man, Liam Sharp I think had one of the best Green Lantern art runs that I've ever fucking seen. It was so good.
That Grant Morrison run.
Oh my god, it was so good.
That was really good.
Yeah. All right, moving on. Fence over at Boom. Once and Futures got the Grail pack. It's a great series. Pick it up. Power Rangers number 22, still counting down to issue 100, where everything's going to change. But that's all they got. Dark Horse, we talk about trades. Amazing Screw on Head. That's some classic shit.
That is great. I love that.
Classic
I love that
comics.
Animated series that they had.
Yeah, dude,
years ago. It's like
that's the first time I got introduced to the character, and then I went back and found this.
Was it Fraser's brother, David Hyde Pierce, or something like that?
Yeah, Fraser's brother.
The actor who played Fraser's brother was the voice.
I know what you're talking. That's the funny
character.
part. I knew exactly who you meant. Yeah. Great book. But not a lot more from Dark Horse. Except
essentially all this week that it's just trades from Dark Horse and some one shots.
Cold Bodies. Let's look at the Cold Bodies. Good call, Andy. It's Magdalene Visaggio, Andrea Moody. I mean, those are two amazing creators. But I think this was already collected.
This is the trade, yeah.
A while ago. Man, I don't really remember it too much. I know I read everything Andrea Moody does. Andrea Moody did an awesome book about history that I was really into, like revolutionary history. That was just so good. But I'm probably going to check this out. I'm going to have to. I know I've got a copy somewhere. I'll check that out. But yeah, again, just a whole bunch of trades. Black Sad, some of the best, what do they call that when animals and the people mix together?
Anthropomorphic.
Anthropomorphic, yeah. some of the best of that, ever.
Yeah.
Eden gets
That-
collected. That's a great fucking
That
book.
is a good series.
Creeping is fucking dope. Old school horror vibe there.
Orphan
we
and the
do-
5 Beast.
Yeah, Orphan and the Five Beasts, one of your favorites of that year.
One of my
Wasn't it?
favorites,
Just last
yes.
year, wasn't it?
Did he
No,
ever get
actually-
around to fighting all 5 of the beasts? Didn't you say that
No,
cut him
he
short?
only-
of it?
There's only like
The-
3 of them.
There's only
Yeah.
he only fought she only fought maybe 2.
No, there was a third one in there somewhere. I thought.
Either way,
There was
that's
the big. There was
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
guy with the thunder thighs, and then there was the guy that
Yeah.
cut himself up like Deadpool and fed himself to people.
Yeah. So yeah, Eden Hellboy one shot is coming. So that's some Falling Sky. That's pretty cool. Hellboy Universe trade. Jinx. We were talking about classic Bendis. That's some classic Bendis. Korra art book. Orphan the Five Beasts, like you said. Shifting Earth was not terrible. Sin City, Star Wars Rebels trade paperback. What? They're reprinting that stuff. That's awesome. That
Cool.
shit's still in canon
Wasn't
as far
that
as
stuff-
I know.
Well, yeah, the Star Wars Rebels is post EU. It is canon
Yeah.
because it
Yeah.
takes place. It takes place before, or it ends before Rogue One starts.
Yes. Yeah.
But there are things that that happen in Rebels that have relevance in Mandalorian.
Yeah.
more so than that. They're going to be doing the Ahsoka show, which is going to have.
Which is all over the Rebel. Yeah.
Yeah, but we already saw in Mando that she's going to go looking for Thrawn and everything.
Well,
so yeah,
the thing
anyone who
is-
wants to get caught up before they start releasing the new shows might want to.
Well,
Yeah.
The reason why she's looking for Thrawn is because Ezra and Thrawn both took off for parts unknown.
That's
what Ezra
precisely what I was referring to. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But the one book that I'm actually picking up that is a must read for me this week
Ward.
is Ward number 3. This is basically fantasy creatures, Lord of the Rings meets ER. The
D&D
hospital.
D&D General
D&D meets
Hospital.
ER. Yeah. Oh, there you go. General Hospital. Either way. Yeah, it's rad. It's by Kevin Scott. We were just talking about Star Wars. He's like the Star Wars guy now. Really fun book, dude. I'm having such a good time reading that. So, moving on to IDW, they've got nothing. They do have the Kill Lock, a personal favorite of mine, by Livio Ramondelli, but not a lot of buzz there. $8 they're asking for that. I mean, it's good, but damn, $8? Why is everything so expensive over here at fucking whatever? I will bring up, because it's the James Biggie covers that they do on all of these best of Storm Shadow. Man, that's a terrible Biggie cover. I could have done that.
I don't like the way they did the eyes there for Storm Shadow.
I could have done this, and I'm terrible. I can't draw shit. Yeah, that's not a good one. I don't like that. But yeah, that's really about it. We do get the D&D annual, so that'll be fun. But moving on to Marvel, the House of Ideas. Here we go.
I hate that cover.
I hate that fucking cover too. That mask, what is going on? What is
Yeah,
that?
Yeah, why does it look so rigid? That doesn't make
Why
any
does
sense.
it look like Hasbro made it? It's terrible. It's ridiculous.
I just wish
I
wish
do
that John
not
Romita
like
would stop drawing
John
Spider-Man.
They're lying as fuck too. They're saying this is Pat Gleason art. That ain't Pat Gleason art.
That
That is Romita
going
Jr.
over and
art.
inking
And look
Romita.
at that face. I guess it is kind of realistic now that I see myself.
Peter Parker.
Peter Parker.
Man, it's easy to shit on JR Jr. and everything, but honestly, the writing is what's really letting me down on this Spider-Man
No,
series.
you're not wrong.
It's
You're
just
not wrong.
been another exercise in misery porn for Spider-Man.
They're shitting on Peter.
They do that often enough. You guys can take a break from it every now and then.
Yeah, dude, give him a good moment. Make it half bad, but give him
The
a
best
good moment.
moments Peter Parker had when he was Doc Ock.
No shit, dude. No shit.
It's sad how true that is.
Yeah, Jason Aaron, Javier Garrón, just his wild fucking Avengers. I mean, look at this. This is so
And this has been a continuation of the let's smash every action figure together we possibly can think of. We had Ronin Ghost Rider last issue. Looks like we're getting a Ghost Rider cowboy this time.
No, this looks like a
Or is that a Phoenix Ghost Rider? Oh, it's a Starbrand Ghost Rider, you're right.
What? Why? That's so dumb. But hey, Jason Aaron, he's awesome. I'm cool with that. Avengers Moon Girl #1 with these weird crossovers that they've been doing.
Yeah, Moon Girl's been teaming up all left and right. It's seemingly how they're just using the character now.
Love that cover, man. That is great. All kinds of action. But yeah, that's a pretty fun book. I mean, it is what it is. You're getting what you think. But big book probably from Marvel, the $5. The Avengers made their base walk. It's kind of like that Ghostbusters 2. Remember in Ghostbusters 2?
Where they made the Statue of Liberty walk.
Statue of Liberty walk.
Don't think they make Nikes in her size, Ray.
Yeah, here we go. Here's just, I don't know, man. I'm still on the fence with this event. Dark Crisis sold me last time. I mean, if X-Men Red didn't sell me with just Uranus kicking fucking Mars's ass, I don't know if this book can do it. I don't know if this book can win me over, man. This does look great, though.
I'm actually enjoying this more of the two.
I know.
I just keep waiting for something to happen in Dark Crisis.
Things are happening.
It seems like it's all like build up. None of it seems like a quote unquote crisis level of
event.
Not
wrong there. Well, no, Deathstroke even said last issue, I'm going to start a crisis.
Okay, so I guess next issue I'll see what how the crisis actually is.
Yeah. Yeah, Andy agrees with me, so he's right. It's just okay. And it is.
It's not a crisis when you keep changing the definition of it.
Yeah, when you change the title. Oh, now it's a sequel. Peach Momoko cover. Very fun. Very interesting. I don't know what the hell they're doing in this cover, but it looks okay.
I guess it's the Celestial Man? I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah, we got an Avenger, an X-Man, and an Eternal all hanging out for some reason.
Yeah, they just probably told her, hey,
I am just Captain Marvel.
No, I don't think that was Captain Marvel.
I didn't want to go Captain
Planet. Dude. All right, they've been doing these weird window shade variants. This one's actually kind of witty. This one's kind of fun. See?
Oh, that is fun. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fun. That's fun. If you've been,
I don't remember seeing any of these variants before.
I haven't been able to find them either, dude. If you're collecting those, good on you. They should go for a pretty penny at some point.
They're probably the 1 in 25 and stuff like that. Yeah. They're probably like 25.
I don't know what the hell happened to them. Black Panther #8 is definitely a pickup for me. Why? Because I love John Ridley. I'm a big fan of John Ridley. He's a great writer, and I've been enjoying that book. But that's really about it. Captain America: Sentinel of Liberty. This is the.
I've been enjoying this book quite a lot.
Book. Yeah, it's Kelly Lanzig. I think it's the better of the two early on.
Both of these Cap books, I think, are good. But yeah, I think this one has more. They haven't had to rely on bringing in Deadpool and Doctor Doom yet, so that does tell me like the story is moving a bit better.
Thank you. I don't know who the hell Steve's fighting here. That is a crazy.
But that was some like fucking robot thing he started fighting in the last issue. But yeah, I love the callback to the World War II book there.
Great fucking writing, dude. Such good writing. Captain Carter wraps up. It's been okay. Ghost Rider Vengeance Forever. This is just a one-shot. I'm not even sure what's going on here. Who's writing it? It is Ben Percy. Oh, it's Juan Jose Rip. Really good artist, dude. Let's see if we can get some preview pages here. That's what's really going to sell this. I love Rip's work. It's really clean, but dirty, sort of. Ooh, look at this. What kind of fucking Ghost Rider is that? Holy shit. That's dope. What?
That is a lady.
Yeah, what a... Well, yeah, obviously, but like...
in the moon. What is going on?
Oh, that's fun, yeah. I like he has like a fire beard there.
Oh, dude, right? Yeah, this is a definite pickup for me. I have been reading Ben Percy's Ghost Rider. They always seem to do this with Ghost Rider, though, man. Just put out a shit ton of one-shots along with his regular book. So it's like you're getting 2, maybe 3 issues a fucking month. And it ends up being too much, and then I just drop it.
Yeah. Ghost Rider does have a hard time sustaining. Yeah.
Yeah. A bunch of cool variants for this, but it is like a big anniversary, 40th anniversary of that character. Gwen Stacy, one shot. It's got a Peach Momoko cover, but $10 for.
This is actual Gwen Stacy and not like Spider Gwen or
it's not
like Thor Gwen or Wolver Gwen or Gwenpool or any of the other fucking Gwens they're doing nowadays.
All right, so Gwen Stacy did have her own miniseries, I guess, back in the day, and this is the official ending of that miniseries. Not something I'm looking forward to. Not something I want to see. Look at Todd Nauk doing stuff that's not head covers, though. His art is perfect. It's so good.
It works really well when he draws the body as well. But
yeah.
But I don't. This was something that wasn't really on my radar when it was originally coming out. But I do always like it when books get a chance to wrap up, you know? I appreciate that for like the fans of the series. Like, what was that? It was I think that's I can't remember who was writing it a few years ago, but like there was that West Coast Avengers thing that got dropped abruptly.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of cool stuff going on there, and I wish they'd do something similar for this. You know,
Yeah. No,
was that Kelly Sue or who was writing
I
that?
think that was Kelly Sue DeConnick, man. I do not remember. Dave.
Well, either way, that was good as hell, and that's the most recent book I can think of that I really enjoyed that got canceled before
that
its
had
time.
America Chavez on the team.
Yeah.
Hawkeye. Yeah, that was a cool team.
Had Quentin Quire. It was before all the Krakoa stuff, and Quentin was still like there. So
yeah, I remember that. That was a cool book, dude. I like that. Jane Foster, Mighty Thor #3, not a terrible book at all. I don't know. There's a Fortnite bundle, like a box that you can get for your Fortnite comics.
no kidding. I was in the shop last week, and there was like a mom in there with her 2 little kids, and she's like, "Do you guys have any Fortnite stuff?" And like, "Oh, lady, you are much too slow to be here for the Fortnite stuff. That sells off like instantaneous. You got to be here like shop opening Wednesday morning if you want the Fortnite." I didn't actually tell her that, but I was thinking it.
Yeah. Another big debut, Miss Marvel versus Wolverine, or not versus, really, just like a team-up book. I like how they're doing a new sort of team-up book at Marvel in a unique sort of way.
Well, was
back in the original run of
the first hero that she encountered?
Yeah, I was about to mention that, David. That back in the original run of Miss Marvel, there was a really fun team-up between these 2 characters, and I'm kind of cool. Yeah. It's kind of cool that they're revisiting it here.
Yeah, I think so too. Especially the character is so hot right now. You know, hitting mass media. That heat. Yeah, hitting mass media. It looks fun. Looks like an all ages sort of read. I'm definitely picking that up. But big book over here, Predator #1. I told you we were going to be talking about it. Ed Bryce and Kev Walker finally out of the shadows.
Now, the artwork for the cover kind of is reminiscent to the very first Predator series that Dark Horse did.
Oh, for sure, for sure. It's a Lionel Francis Yu cover. That dude's freaking awesome.
Yeah, but it has that element to it. Because I did read a bunch of the Dark Horse Predator books for a very
I read some of those. Yeah, I read some of those.
But this is actually a future. It's at least I think like set in the timeline of like maybe Ripley.
I'm not sure, dude.
I will confess that I don't give a shit about that. But I do like that they're telling the story mostly with kind of a show don't tell type of thing. I like how there's very little dialogue in there, it looks like.
Yeah. A lot of cool covers.
That one is a Peach Momoko cover.
Yeah, Momoko gets probably the weirdest cover she's ever fucking
But that
done.
is that is a
You know, I will say though that is the best headshot cover I've ever seen.
Nobody.
That is on par with some of the stuff that they had with Dark Horse back in the day.
Yeah. I mean, they don't show it here, but there is also a camouflage cover. It's like a blank cover, but the whole cover is just camouflage.
Ah.
Maybe that's why we can't find it.
Maybe like they have it's lenticular.
They couldn't take a picture of it, didn't show up.
Yeah, no, it's not lenticular, dude. It's the cover I want, but I'm not reading this unless I can get that cover. You know what? I might read it just because it's the #1 over at Marvel. And Predator's hot right now. You know, I want to support the franchise. Punisher #5, Jason Aaron's other book he's got going on right now. Pretty solid. I'm enjoying it. He's going to get over on the hand this issue. I never enjoy the throwbacks to how terrible Frank had it as it, you know, in his past. I understand that's how the character works. It's overdone. Get over it. It's done. We know he's fucked up. Just move forward.
Stick a fork in him.
Yeah, that's about it though. We got Bounty Hunters 26. X-Men Legends comes back with a new #1. I'm not sure I understand why they're doing this. It is Roy Thomas and Gerardo Sandoval, who's a great retro artist, coming back to, you know, a really bunch of early X-Men stuff. But no, I'm not interested in this at all. No, I don't. But like Taylor said earlier, he's happy that, you know, Marvel is able to do all the things and give people what they want and give it to everybody. So it's cool that they have that, you know, available.
Yeah, good for you if this is your bag. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, good week, good solid week from Marvel this week. Not much to talk about in Dynamite ever, except this week they do have a new 007, and it's written by Philip Kennedy Johnson. I love that guy. He's a great writer. Marco Finnegan is doing the art. The art should be, you know, pretty okay. But I'm interested in this. I love 007 comics. I've been a fan of 007 comics for as long as I've been reading 007 comics. I don't even know how long that was. I just always remember there being James Bond comics whenever I had comics. There'd always be like a James Bond comic stuck in there. They were a lot hotter back when I was a kid. I remember them being a lot, you know what I mean? Hotter. Kind of like when they did the Nick Fury book.
Well, they
The Nick
definitely
Fury book at Marvel was hot as hell.
I mean, James Bond is very much a
man's man.
Well, I mean, what I was going to say is like a character that's like really tied in with the Cold War.
Sure.
Yeah.
You could argue that the character just doesn't have as much punch now that that's over, but not to say that I don't like the recent James Bond movies, but they definitely come out a lot less frequently than they used to.
Yeah, you're not wrong, dude. You're not wrong. Moving on, Draculina. I mean, at least I don't have a bunch of $50 reprints or variant covers of Elvira in Horrorland, Red Sonja, Sheena, Vampirella. Basically, the mainstays of Dynamite are showing up this week.
Yeah, your cheesecake platter here, yeah.
Cheesecake platter. Yep. Now we get into the rest.
And I'll be honest with you, there ain't much.
There's
here
not much.
There's not much. But the first one we'll talk about is Absolution #2 from AWA.
Oh, that's way up here. Not a bad book. Did you read from AWA last week, Sacrament?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't like it at all.
It was not. I had higher hopes.
You made me have high hopes, and I was like, oh my, this is trash. I did not like it at all. An Epic Tale of Revenge and Atonement. Yeah, I actually have not read the first issue of this. I really should catch up. Cool Diodato cover there, though.
Yeah. Other than that, there's not a whole lot. There is one other book that did catch my eye, but the stuff for this week on the indies is really kind of thin. I mean, you got like Bill and Ted Roll the Dice #3, which is fun.
Yeah, great cover there too. If you're a D&D fan, really fun.
I've heard mixed things about the Blade Runner books, but this is like
I don't read those Blade Runner books. I'm just not a big enough fan of Blade Runner to give a shit. I'm okay with Blade Runner, it's fine, but no, I'm not really a guy who's seeking out more stories from that universe. It just doesn't make sense to me.
There was a comic on here, and I don't think the shop's going to get it, and I was not going to mention it too much, but there's one called Cover the Dead with Lime.
Yeah, I just clicked on that. Jonathan Chance, Hernan Gonzalez, a great plague ravishes England, killing thousands in its first year. Housebound infected homes are marked with a painted red cross, warning of the spread as plague doctors are sent into towns to face the impending doom.
Yeah,
seems, but that's pretty basic horror.
Yeah,
shit.
but when at first I thought it was going to be like a zombie, but it's basically a comic book retelling the Black Plague essentially.
Oh, that's fun. A lot of variants for that. Whole lot of variant covers.
But it's a smaller publisher, and I know if nobody at the shop asks for it, the shop's not going to get it. So
yeah.
The last book or the other book that did catch my eye that I do want to talk about is Parker Girls.
All right, yeah.
Terry Moore.
I did hear about this one. So these are characters from damn it, the name of that book always escapes me.
Strangers in Paradise?
Yes, Strangers in Paradise. I don't know why.
This is basically I think this is another continuation of the Mooreverse.
Yeah. This is
I don't know what we call it officially, but that's Terry Moore's universe.
Yeah.
I'm down with Terry Moore.
Oh no, me too. Motor Girl, holy shit. Rachel Rising. Oh my god. What was that other one, that sci-fi one he did that I love so much?
Oh gosh. It was on the
with the girl who gets like
the metal
goo on her.
No, it's not. No.
Anyway, God, that book is so good. It's so good I can't remember the name of it. But yeah, always in on a Terry Moore book. I'm definitely picking this one up, dude. I have to specifically request for Cover the Dead. Cover the Dead. So, we already talked about that, right? Yeah, Cover the Dead with Lime. It looks good, bro. It seems like basic sort of horror stuff, but in the real terms of us just going through a plague, man, I mean, what better idea than to cover that sort of history with a newfound context, and shit like that. So
yeah,
it looks fun, dude. If I can find a copy, I'll read it. Yeah, what was the name of that damn book, man?
I'm looking.
You didn't find it yet?
Not yet. There's a lot of Terry Moore books.
Oh, no shit.
Echo.
Oh man, Echo, love that book so much. But Motor Girl's still my favorite. Motor Girl's still by far my favorite.
I think of all the Terry Moore books I have, I think I have probably the biggest continuity count of Echo.
No, I have every single issue of Echo. I have every single issue of Motor Girl. I didn't buy a single issue of Rachel Rising. I was like, oh, I'll just buy it in trade. Dumbest idea I ever made. I should have just bought it in issues. But it's still good. Still
It's
dope.
good.
Yeah. But yeah, that looks like it's about it. We
Yeah,
do get a new Zorro book from American Mythologies. That's pretty cool. I actually bought a Zorro book. My wife got it for me from just like a little like swap meet thing they were having in my hometown, just a little bullshit thing on the side of the road.
Like, was it a Golden Age or Silver Age book, or was it from Topps?
Yeah, it was a George Perez. It was a George Perez cover.
It might have been Topps
just a
Comics.
Random Zorro book. So I was like, oh fuck yeah, nice.
My biggest one of my biggest sins is not jumping on Strangers in Paradise too early enough.
Oh yeah, I didn't jump on that either. No, and there's no way to find those issues. They were so limited printing.
Yeah,
I'm really hoping that Motor Girl gets picked up. Motor Girl was actually optioned, but they haven't picked it up yet. If it gets picked up, I'm selling my Motor Girl like immediately. It's gone. It's out the door because it'll never peak again. It'll never peak again. Anyway, yeah, some good books this week. Jurassic, DC Jurassic, whatever, Jurassic League.
Jurassic League. Son of Kal-El is always fun.
Yep. Axe number 2 is on my list.
Axe number 2 should be fun. Avengers is good, stupid fun. Punisher is good, stupid fun.
Yep. 8 Billion Genies, got to give it up for APJ. That book is fucking fun as shit. The War number 3 is definitely on my list this week. So
just noticed a real lack of X books this week.
Oh yeah, there's no X books. Hickman left and the schedule is fucked. 5 a week, none the next week. When was the last Wolverine issue I read? I can't remember the last time I read an issue of Wolverine that had Deadpool in it. What the hell?
Yeah, they went to like Danger's basement and then just decided
Andy's looking like a good week. Yep, he's on vacation. Oh, good for you, bro. Enjoy it.
Yeah, I hope it's relaxing.
Yeah, me too, man. I hope you're having a good time. But I am going to check out the Predator book. I will check out Miss Marvel Wolverine number 1.
Oh yeah, that should be pretty good.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna try to get the Predator book.
Nice. Awesome. So, yeah, it's a good week of comics. We are going to talk about all of those next week on the Sunday night show. Definitely join us this time. Then we're going to talk about news and all those books. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. Please check out the Comic Book Bullies. They did a show last night. They went, neck deep into that Prey movie. Had such a good time talking about it. It was so fucked up because I'm in a chat where Leroy and Eli, sort of message each other different shit. And Leroy was like, man, I can't believe you didn't go into this part of the movie. And Eli was like, dude, we talked about it for like 45 minutes, And so they went way into it. Had such a good time. Yeah, Andy, until next time. Thanks, bro.
So are any of you guys going to watch the Comanche dub?
Yeah, that's next on my list, dude. Man,
I still need to watch the English dub. I haven't gotten around to watching it yet.
Fucking lights blinking. You see that?
You got a thunderstorm going or something?
I don't know. Who knows?
Well, you better go ahead and wrap up the show before your power goes out.
Thanks for hanging out, everybody. Go to outrightgeekery.com. You can find links to everything we do. We really appreciate you listening. Thanks a lot, but most of all, thanks to these jokers for hanging out with this joker.
Always fun.
We're going to do it again next time.
Same geek time, same geek channel.
Maybe it's just some animal up there eating a wire. That'd be even worse.
You got squirrels in the attic?
I hope not. I don't hear nothing.
Maybe your air conditioning